Vandal Scout Teemo, reporting for duty!
Teemo is a zoning character who uses several different traps and setups to put his opponent into extremely tricky and downright impossible to deal with situations. His short size and stubby normals can mean he has a hard time getting an initial hit, but don't let his stature fool you. This little guy is the leader of the Bramble Scouts for a reason. His unique power is Vandal Merit Badges. Teemo is able to empower his abilities after using them several times. He has 3 separate badges that all correlate with different attacks. Once he earns a badge, he has it for the rest of the game. He also has an extra ability that doesn't really fit in with his specials. By crouching, Teemo is able to go fully invisible. This lasts for around 3 seconds once he begins moving, and it also makes him 15% faster. If he attacks at all, it causes him to reappear. Before we go on to his specials, we need to talk about one of his normals. Teemo's light normal is Dartshot. By pressing light, you get a Dartshot, and this can be done up to 3 separate times. This is a projectile move that travels around half screen. It can be used in the air at a downwards angle. If Teemo hits the opponent with 12 darts, he gets the Dart badge. It will apply poison to the opponent. Teemo's S1 special is Sharp Shooting Scout. Teemo shoots a rock forward. This acts as a projectile. If held, the projectile increases in speed and distance. If Teemo hits the opponent with 5 rocks, he upgrades his Slingshot badge. The upgraded projectile does more damage, increases the opponent's hit stun, leading to more routes, and, of course, sets the rock on fire. This rock interacts with several different things in Teemo's kit in ways that we'll get onto later. You can aim it upwards by pressing down on S1. His forward S1 is Bramble Dash. Teemo revs himself up and dashes forward, executing a multi-hit attack. If the attack is held, it gives Teemo more hits, but allows for a follow-up combo. His S2 special is Noxious Trap. Teemo places down a mushroom that lasts for 7 seconds. If the opponent walks into the mushroom, it explodes, dealing a decent amount of damage. If the opponent activates 10 mushrooms, Teemo receives the Mushroom Badge. Now, all of his mushrooms will leave behind a poison cloud that poisons the opponent on hit or block. Teemo can place up to 3 mushrooms at any given time. If a mushroom is placed on top of another mushroom, it bounces a little bit further until it has enough clearing to be placed. Mushrooms can be placed in the air. However, this causes Teemo and the mushroom to plummet to the floor. They can also be thrown forward by pressing forward and S2. If Teemo shoots a mushroom with Sharp Shooting Scout, the rock trajectory changes and it now bounces upwards, catching the opponent in the air. His down S2 is Guerrilla Tactics. If Teemo doesn't attack while in the bush, he will go invisible, without the need to crouch. He can teleport back to the bush at any time by pressing down S2 again. If the bush is set on fire by Teemo's down heavy, or his enhanced rock, it becomes a multi-hitting hitbox and creates an updraft that Teemo is able to float on with his parachute. His S1 super is Vandal Sky Patrol. Teemo takes to the sky and shoots several darts full screen. He's able to move freely in all directions while in this super. If he has the Dart badge, the final dart will poison the opponent. His S2 super is Noxious Surprise. Teemo creates a giant mushroom that explodes upon contact with the opponent, hitting multiple times. If he digs up the mushroom with his down forward heavy, it begins to advance across the screen. Teemo's ultimate is Blinding Dart. Teemo blinds the opponent with a dart and throws a large amount of mushrooms on them. This isn't a war crime, right? Teemo's neutral assist has him summon a mushroom. Teemo's back assist has him fire 3 separate darts. Teemo's down assist, only available while in last stand, has him appear in the sky, dropping several mushrooms that explode the moment they hit the ground. Teemo is a tricky little fella. He wants to have a large field of shrooms as his home base, and force his opponent to approach him while he's there. His smaller hitting normals means that he has time approaching the opponent, but when they're approaching him, he has so many tools to keep them out, it's not even funny. If he has 3 mushrooms set up, he generally counters the majority of the cast. While most opponents can deal with 1, maybe 2 mushrooms, 3 is a little bit much to get past, and will force them to block once they get in. If he has the mushroom badge, this will also apply poison to the opponent. When getting a knockdown, Teemo will want to use his guerrilla tactics to hide himself, thus making his Okizeme impossible to see, and thus basically impossible to block. When creating a team, Teemo will want to be paired with someone who's able to hold down the line while he sets up his shot. This is the, on paper, best team up. However, an extremely popular pairing is with the game's other zoner, Jinx. As she sends out projectiles and traps that go towards the opponent, Teemo is able to set up his home base. The opponent then has to force their way in against Jinx's projectiles, and once they do, they're greeted with free landmines and a raccoon. Saying this though, Teemo can work well in basically any team comp. Feel free to experiment and see what you can get away with. He's a very open character with a lot of interactions with his mushrooms and projectiles, so the more creative you get, the better. Once you begin advancing the character, try to find combo routes that unlock one of his free badges. Being able to get a single hit and get a full badge off of it will be an absolute boon later in the game. If you are looking for combos, remember, the combo trial in the game is completely free and available for every character, even if you don't own them. So, go out there and get your winning badges! Show them how the Bramble Scouts deal with their enemies!